to Remembering Our Spirits, May 8th, 2023, from the book Around the Year with Emmett Fox. Non-resistance. When you fight a thing, you antagonize it and it hits back. The harder you fight, the harder it hits. When you give your attention to anything, you are building that thing into your consciousness for good or evil. A story is told about William Penn. He had been accustomed from boyhood to carrying a sword because it was part of the dress of a gentleman at this period. One day it occurred to him that this was inconsistent with his Quakerism. But on the other hand, he knew that he would feel extremely embarrassed without it. So he consulted George Fox, never doubting that his leader would say, "You must stop wearing it." George Fox was silent for a few moments and then said, "Carry the sword until you cannot carry it any longer." A year or so later, Penn discontinued the practice quite easily. When you are faced with some negative condition, withdraw your attention from it by building the opposite into your subconscious. Then the undesirable thing falls away like an overripe fruit. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. Philippians 4:8. What you focus on grows. Where you put your attention, you receive. That is a spiritual principle that has been around for thousands of years. What you think creates your reality. Be mindful of what you're thinking. Yesterday, by our home, I heard some verbal altercations outside of our window that we had open because it was a nice day. And I was really surprised to hear people fighting in the area where we live. So I eventually looked out the window, and there was one man there and another couple, and this man was so mad and he was yelling, and the police had been called and the police were there. And honestly, my first thoughts were, you guys are really interrupting my Saturday. You are a grown-ass man. Stop yelling. Go to conflict resolution and find a solution. So I was definitely in judgment. Then I remembered what I've been reading and sharing from Emmett Fox and with you. That when you come up against something, a thought, a belief, a perception, a situation, a relationship, that you are experienced ego, fear-based thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, judgments, feelings around it, what is it suggested that we do? It's suggested that we be aware of where we're placing our attention and switch that attention from the ego fear-based thinking to the love-based thinking and thinking about the presence of God in the people that are arguing, in ourselves, in the police officers. And I go further And I began blessing them with God's love and God's truth, which in turn blesses me with God's love and God's truth because we're all connected. The spiritual practice in day to day life at times is a brainer. I am so grateful I have these tools to pick up and to practice because I am a spiritual practicer. I'm simply a practicer, just like you. And I'm sharing ideas and spiritual practices and ideas and thought lives. And you take the best for you and leave the rest. With that, have a blessed day. See you tomorrow.